Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Putty's Podcast. I am your host at Michael J. Putty, and thanks for coming back. Or if this is your first time, welcome. Big thanks to Jeff last week for being on the show. As I said on the show, I was surprised to see him, because I expected, like most people do, especially these days, to do it over Zoom. But no, he came all the way out from Bumble F, Long Island, and came here and hang out in person. It was nice to have do the show with somebody here face to face. You had that bullshit time before the show to warm up. Then afterwards, he hung out way later than I was planning. Because again, he has a long ride home. But it was nice to drink and just bullshit with somebody. It was nice. Good times. That show went an hour and a half. I think just a little over an hour and a half. So there were some chunks I had to edit out. And I think the last couple conversations I just cut out for time. So I'm going to repost them at a future date. Most of the stuff I cut out was just talking about wrestling, his trips to WrestleManias, him being there on the retirement road of John Cena. He was there for that heel turn. So there we go into that conversation, just rambling on. Drinks are flowing. We're loose. We're nice. We're having a good time. So I might post that at a later date. Stay tuned. So I've been talking about how I'm trying to get used to this new microphone. It's a very sensitive microphone that is used for specific professional audio recordings. I think I'm getting used to it now. It's very sensitive. I think I got everything right here. And recently, through this whole voiceover company that I'm using, they decided to give me an at-home studio consultation. I'm like, great. I think I mentioned that in the past. So just as I'm getting used to this new microphone, I switched over to a new laptop. My laptop was old. Surprisingly not that old, but old enough for Windows to stop, or what they say, end of lifing Windows 10. They're only focusing on Windows 11 and later. So, okay. My aunt got my mother a laptop a couple years ago to save her the stress on her back from sitting at a computer, and of course my mother never used it. So I'm like, well, I still need a new laptop. Can I borrow yours temporarily, the new one? She's like, yeah, I don't use it. Take it as long as you need. I'm like, all right, great, thank you. Turns out that Windows isn't allowing users an extension for another year of updates for Windows 10 and older. So I don't really need this new laptop, but I used it for this voiceover stuff. Get a crisp, clean, fast computer. But it's so much smaller. I think my old laptop was, I don't know, 17 inches, maybe 18. And this is 14. Part of the new studio update. The guy had me update to the latest software equipment for my recording software. Software I've been using since 2012 when I first started podcasting. And anytime I need to install it on a new laptop, I just use the download file from 2012. So for me, who knows about computers, who used to work in IT, never thought about updating. Are there any updates? So I was on 2 point something and I got 3.3 something. It's a big difference. So the interface is different. Just all the buttons take up half the screen. And now the monitor is smaller. It's just, oh my God. I might need glasses soon. And an old coworker gave my mother an additional screen for the laptop, which she never used, of course, because my coworker got 2 of them by accident. So I found it and I attached it to this computer, but it's even smaller. This new screen is only like 12 inches. All of this is first world problems. I understand that. I'm just venting because it's so hard to get used to it. If you're used to something and all of a sudden everything has to change, you've been there. You know how I'm feeling. Same exact thing. Speaking of my mother, she's doing okay. Mentioned last week she fell and broke her ankle and needed surgery, rods and plates. But she's doing okay, as good as she can be for someone in her condition and at her age. My father had a lot of health issues. Issues walking, fell a lot. So when he go to the hospital, they would always send him to a rehab facility to help him get back on his feet. I live a couple of blocks away from a very well accredited rehab and nursing home. It's very hard to get into. Everybody wants to get there. So anytime my father needed to go to a rehab facility, my mother always made that number one, and he never got in. So my mother needs to go to a rehab facility for a couple months. And of course, she put that down as number one, not expecting to go. But finally, we got some good news. She's there. She got accepted. So I don't have to schlep out to Long Island every day or every other day to see her. But she's there. Nice place. Looks very clean, very professional. So we'll see what happens. Just a matter of 1 week down, 7 more to go. Maybe 11. So I'll keep you updated about that. Also mentioned last week, coming home from visiting her in the hospital, as I was leaving, saw my ex-girlfriend on a dating app. Not just any dating app, the one we matched on. The one we deleted in front of each other. And again, I mentioned last week, didn't crash out, didn't fold like I did the first time I saw it. But still stung a little bit. And I mentioned on the drive home, I was cursing her out, trying to, I don't know, bring up these negative feelings. Maybe that will help me. I don't know. So this week, talking to my therapist, told him the story. Apparently doesn't think it's a good idea. It's not healthy for me. Because though I'm still having these negative thoughts that are helping me move on, I'm still having thoughts. So it's not helping me move on. Helping me move on is a hard sentence for me to say. I've tried it like 4 times. And usually in the old software, I could just close out that clip and record again. But no, if I stop, start here, it's all in one line. So it's harder for me to edit. Deep breaths. Somewhat good news. My liquor store did not have my Jim Beam again. So I got me some Jack Honey. Everything's okay. Serenity now. Serenity now. I've been feeling kind of down in the dumps. Just about life. And that's usually my go-to default feeling. Just down. Not necessarily sad. Just like down. So every week when I go to therapy, I tell him and we talk about whatever's on my mind. And at the end, I always feel better. It feels so great talking to him. And he's always just telling me things I know. But I guess it's good to hear from his point of view or whatever. But sometime I'll go on and I start feeling down again. Or definitely the next day. Can I talk to this guy all the time? If any of y'all are feeling a certain way, highly recommend therapy. Oh man, it's great. And there's no excuse not to do it now with all these apps. As I mentioned, I did not want to do apps. I hate FaceTiming. I'm always looking at my picture and just seeing the grossness that I'm seeing. But I got over it. There's really no excuse. Most insurance cover it. So if you need help or anything, highly recommend it. Talkspace, Headway. I think that those are the 2 popular apps. There's more, but those are the 2 I have used. And of course that AI one, Ash, A-S-H, if you just don't want to talk to a person, or maybe you just don't want to spend the money. Another tongue twister for me. Tried to say it 3 times. Kept messing up, so I kept deleting it and doing it over again. I ended up deleting the whole show twice. 2 of those 3 times, I ended up deleting the whole show. Thank God for undo. Damn, there's got to be a setting I can pick here. This is driving me crazy. But anyway, let's move on. There's an episode of On the Rocks with AJ Pan exclusively on Spotify. They're talking about the New Year resolutions and stuff like that. And some of mine were to drink less and focus on this podcast. For the last 15 episodes, 16 now, I missed that creative outlet. I had a great creative outlet with Shot of Wrestling. That came to an end. But then my focus was on my relationship I was in. That's gone. Both of them are gone. So I started this up again. But this can't be a weekly cry fest about my past. I need to start focusing on what this format wants to be. Failed on the drinking less thing, and I failed on trying to figure out what I want to do here. I feel like I just want to talk with people, and it always ends up on politics. It's such a divisive issue, hot button issue, and it's just, do we really want to talk about that week in and week out? We're so oversaturated with that. Enough's enough. Especially with everything going on in Minnesota right now, everything going on with ICE. It's a hot button issue, and it's not positive. It's not uplifting. There's so much negativity in the news. Hell, 98% of the news is negative. A number I just made up. If the president can do it, I can do it too. And also, how embarrassing is this country now on the world stage? The president of the United States, the leader of the free world, was given the Nobel Peace Prize by the person who actually won it. He didn't win it. It's not his. And he's accepting it. And you see this big, stupid smile on his face. Like he won it. It's embarrassing. I don't know how people who defend him and support this guy can say about this. I mean, they have to understand how embarrassing this looks. The optics are very bad for us. I've been scrolling through Instagram Reels for a while, and sometimes you get in these zones of Instagram's algorithm just feeding you the same account over and over again. What happened to me a couple days ago, and this is one account. He has a doctorate in something, medical health something. He's specialized in at-home care for, I forgot how many years, he said, with a focus on dementia patients. And he's just showing you, he's telling you the symptoms and then showing clips of Trump showing those symptoms, including signage. He put a sign outside the Oval Office saying it's the Oval Office. He put a sign outside the West Wing saying it's the West Wing. And he ends all the videos with his expertise saying Trump has months left to live. Now, I hope that's not true. But my father had the same thing he's talking about, the frontal dementia thing. And when he's showing these symptoms, I'm like, yeah, a lot of it looks familiar. And I understand they have to hide everything. He's the leader of the free world. He's the president. And of course you want to hide it. That makes sense. I'm not going to shit on that for that. But it's sad. And I hope what this guy's saying is not true. Everything's looking like it, man. It's just sad to see somebody deteriorate in front of our eyes. And now someone like this on the national, global scale. So I'm trying to find some good news, some uplifting news we need to hear now. And I heard a little thing called the Walk for Peace. Surprised more people aren't talking about this. Buddhist monks are walking 2,300 miles, approximately taking them 120 days from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. in a spiritual pilgrimage. Again, that took me 5 times to say. Spiritual pilgrimage. I even messed that one up. I'm not doing it again. The walk is a form of moving meditation meant to promote peace, compassion, mindfulness, and more importantly, nonviolence. Rather than protesting, they aim to inspire reflection and human connection through their presence and daily interactions along the route. Along the way, they'll stop to meet people, share teachings of mindfulness and compassion, and are often greeted with a lot of support from the locals. First heard about it on the radio. Someone called in to say that she stopped along their route. And it's just positivity, peace, love, compassion, things that this world is missing out on. And as of last week, they were just outside Charlotte, North Carolina, heading to Washington, D.C. So I started following them on Instagram, and it's something we need to see these days. So follow them on Instagram, Walk for Peace, WALKFORPEASE.USA, and check them out. They post regularly. I heard a story that one of the monks, they're being followed by vehicles, but there was an accident and one of the monks got hit and his leg got amputated. And they asked him, is he okay? And he goes, yeah, whatever happens, happens. What? You're on a 2,300 mile walk for peace? One of your legs gets amputated and you're like, whatever happens, happens? God bless. They are stronger men than I am. But again, follow them on Instagram. In other good news, the International Union for Conservation and Nature list released some animals that were removed from the endangered species list. The top 2 were the green sea turtle and the giant panda. I believe most of my life, the giant panda was on the endangered list. Very, very good news to see that they had been removed. Now, being removed from the endangered species list does not mean that they are safe. It means they've been reclassified to a less severe risk because population have improved thanks to conservationism. Something I'm very passionate about. Again, there's a company called Follow, FAHLO, that I've donated to multiple times. In exchange, you get like a bracelet. You can get you can buy a bracelet. You can buy like a pin. You can buy some sort of jewelry. And in exchange, they give you a card of your own animal that you can follow on their app. And they give you updates constantly about where they are, their movements, their location. And all the proceeds go to animal conservation for whatever animal you've selected. I've got numerous ones. I've got elephants, sea turtles, giraffes. My ex for anniversary got me a koala bear. And there's a bunch more. I got her a snow leopard. That's her favorite animal. Whatever animal is available in this, they're always growing. When I first started with them, there's only like maybe 5 animals. I think now there's so many more. Check them out, FAHLO. And there's some more good news, believe it or not. Y'all ever hear of a town called Gander? It's in the news again. The residents of Gander, Newfoundland, they've known for famously helping thousands of stranded airline passengers after 9/11. once the U.S. closed their airspace, a lot of international flights coming here to this country that had nowhere to go. They were all rerouted to a town called Gander in Newfoundland. Well, it happened again. They stepped up. There was an Air Canada flight that was diverted to Gander due to heavy ice storms along their flight path. And once again, the locals quickly volunteered to drive passengers to nearby hotels, restaurants, and again, they came back in the morning to drive them back to the airport. This community has a long-standing reputation for generosity and hospitality, two things that are rare to find these days. Now, if you don't know the full story, it's a story I heard about randomly in the closing moments of the nightly news. The story made international headlines and even manifested a Broadway play, which I highly recommend. I always wanted to go see it because this is a story I'm very, I don't say passionate about, but very involved in. And they made a Broadway play, Come From Away. Always wanted to go see it. I regret not seeing it, but thankfully they aired it on Apple TV. So I was able to go see it. So I think it's still available. So if you want to see a nice, fun, enjoyable, uplifting hour and a half musical, Come From Away on Apple TV Plus. It just shows what's possible when a people or a community come together for kindness and good. That is all the uplifting, positive, happy stories I have for you this week. And what I hope is not bad news, the last several days I've woken up feeling sick, cough, very heavily congested. Not stuffy, but congested. Like, what? I was just sick a couple weeks ago. What the fuck is this? I took a whole bunch of Paxlovid. Still have a couple left. Might have taken a couple since. But yeah, it's as the day goes on, it gets better. I feel normal again. But at night, it kind of comes back. And it's coming back. And I think you can hear it now in my voice. Things starting to go, which is not a good sign. But lastly, I want to leave you with this. I feel like I've been kind of on a roll with TV shows lately. Started with The Crown last year, followed by Mobland. Then I got into The Hunting Wives, just burned through Euphoria. There's a show that came out recently called His and Hers on Netflix. Didn't know anything about it. Went to get some lunch. The guy behind the counter told me about it. His and Hers on Netflix. It's a murder mystery, whodunit. If you love those, you'll love this. It's, oh my God. Every episode leaves you with a, like, what the fuck? What happens next? Check it out, His and Hers on Netflix. Which means I need a new show. So please let me know via Putty's Podcast. Dial it up, 917-718-8083. 917-718-8083. Give me some TV show recommendations, because now I need a new show. And that's it, folks. My Jack Honey is empty. About to do a shot of Robitussin. I'll see you next week. Putty out.